that would have to be basically my own library where I would explain the customers after that during the entire week, right? So with that, whenever I wasn't in Paris working for Fashion Week, I was helping out at the store with the same brands again. So I got really involved with fashion, even though I swore not to when I was a little girl. And with that, a different side of creation kind of opened up in my mind. But at the same time, it was much more serious. I was in charge of certain things and responsibilities and everything. So with some time, then I was offered to go to the US and open a flagship store for that same brand designer. So having been involved in fashion for a really long time has always inspired me in cuts and shapes and textures, especially, which a lot of people point out when they see my design. I always see, like, I know it's yours because of the textures. So maybe this is where it's coming from. And the reason why I now am working with.
Before we dive into today's episode, please hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us grow and inspire more people on their journeys. Thank you. Hello, Nadia. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to the show.
Hi, Thomas. Thank you so much.
So, Nadia, for those who don't know you, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Nadia Fernandez. I am from Spain. I moved to the US when I was very young, pursuing goals in life. I'm the founder of La Isla Designs. I create websites and content for small businesses, other freelancers, and medium businesses. I am currently based back in Spain. And yeah, for those who might have seen me on LinkedIn, might know me a little bit because of my carousels, bold designs, and yeah, that's me.
Before we dive into your career and into what you do, it's really interesting that you moved to the US because it's quite a bold move. So was it something that you kind of always dreamed of doing, or what was the reason behind it, or why did you do that?
The reason behind it was as a teenager, I started teaching dance very early. And, it was way before YouTube. And actually, when YouTube came around, there was one video that caught my eye, and that was in a dance studio in LA. So I told myself when I turn 18, I will move there. I want to go to that same studio. So it was a little bit bold of me to make it happen, but I did. And that was the main reason behind me moving
It's
to the States.
but it's really cool that one video can like change literally your life or the whole career trajectory, if you say it that way.
Yeah. And I think YouTube must have had less than, I don't know, maybe in the thousands of videos, not more.
Mhm.
So it was
Yeah.
probably first, second year of YouTube. Yeah.
But you make it sound like you just moved there, but it's not just the move, it's like literally moving across the whole world. So were you scared, were you excited, both, or what did you feel like?
So I think my mom was freaking out because I'm an only child too.
Especially when you are 18, it's still quite young
Yes.
to move so far away.
Yes. I made it sound like, oh, I'll be back in a few months. But deep down, I knew it was not going to be a few months. So I just gave my parents another reason to travel. That was it. But it was
Mhm.
it was scary. I mean, I was a teenager in a foreign country, still learning the language as well. But I moved with a work study program set in place. So, in a way, you kind of move to a determined place where you're going to be surrounded by others doing the same thing as you. So it was great. It was a great experience and shaped me to who I am.
And when you actually landed, when you are there for the first time, it reminds me of these, let's say, American movies when you've got big expectations. So were your expectations met? Was it different? What were first impressions like?
I remember freezing at the airport and saying, "Whoa,
I
okay, it
made it.
happened. I made it. Jet lag. What do I
Mm.
do now? This is too big." I understand English. I can get by, but I didn't want to. open my mouth because I was scared I was gonna say things wrong and everything.
Yeah.
But it was yes, I think I was actually listening to a soundtrack and I must have had that the spinning iPod. Is that what it was?
Oh, oh wow, yeah. Back in the day, I'm
Back in the
not sure
day,
if
yes.
the audience still remembers, but that's what used to be.
Yeah. You could only fit, I don't know, maybe 200 songs in there.
hmm
Yeah.
And for how long did you then stay in the US?
I then stayed for 3 years. I moved back home and then I actually waited to get a job offer that brought me back to the States 4 years after that. And then I
Oh,
stayed
yeah.
for over 10 years.
Oh wow, that's a long time. And then you said that
Yeah.
you got back to Spain again. So what was then the reason to come back again?
LA can be a little bit consuming. Also, I mean, I being in the dance industry, it was basically wake up at 7 a.m., go to ballet class, dance all day in different ways. Okay, you do your training, then you have auditions to go to, so you have to take the bus like to the middle of the city where it's maybe three different buses that you have to go there
Mm.
way before Google Maps as well. So
Oh,
we're talking
like
about
Nadia with the physical map there
yeah,
somewhere.
exactly. You study. Okay, now I have to get this bus. Now I have to get this bus. And then, after that, I did a lot of what I wanted to do. I was young. My knees could handle it too, dancing all day. You were up until maybe midnight, dancing all day, sweating, and you would probably have in your stomach two coffees and
Yeah,
maybe a
not
sandwich.
yeah, not the healthiest, right?
No, so it really got to me. It was time to
Mhm.
maybe just come back, reset, and I was working on a project, so it finally came along and I was able to go back to the US and smoothly. So after that, life was a lot calmer.
Yeah, and I can imagine it's very competitive as well,
Yes.
especially in LA, isn't it?
Yes. And I can only imagine is times 100 now.
Yeah,
Because
it's,
social media must have done its good work and probably made thousands and thousands of people move there because of that. So, yeah.
mhm. And in Spain, are you actually from any of the big cities or from countryside or what's the place that you live in?
So, I'm from the Balearic Island, from Mallorca. So, you can imagine I
Oh,
lived
well.
in an island my entire life. I land in LA. Woo!
Now I guess people don't understand why would you live such a beautiful place, a beach every day, beautiful weather, isn't it?
Yeah, I went from palm trees to palm trees. So, that helped
Yeah.
me.
Mm.
That helped me a lot.
But I'm sure that it's a beautiful change because I can partially relate to myself as I live in London, but I come from a village from different countries. So always
Mhm.
when you go back or you travel, for example, to visit your parents, it's really such a big change and just a beautiful refresh and the way how to recover.
Don't you appreciate home though when you go back?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
actually. I of course I was kind of both scared and excited to move away, but as I'm here, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to compare it to LA, but it feels a bit like a rushed, and you want to get stuff done. But when you go back home, it's calmer, slower, and it's much different.
Yes. It made me appreciate the tiny island I'm from, so
hmm
I recommend
And
it.
yeah, I'm not. I've never visited. I've been only to Madrid, but I heard only positive things, of course, about Mallorca, how
Yeah.
beautiful it is and everything. So it's definitely on my list as well.
Nice. Well, you're welcome here anytime.
I will remember that. And then because now you do something different. It's still creative industry, but you focus on
Mhm,
design, websites, and kind of digital marketing.
mhm.
So how did you make the switch from one industry or one area of focus to this one?
So funny enough, I did have something in between where yes, I've always been in the creative side and I feel like it's something I can't get off of me. I was born into fashion. Basically, my parents had a fashion boutique for long before I was even born, still up and running. So when I was growing up, I was always taken by my parents to fashion shows and showrooms and everything. So growing up, I said, I don't want to do that. And I studied biology and plus dance at the same time. But somehow, when I was in LA, actually, I needed a short break. So my mom was like, hey, how about meeting me in Paris and, coming with me to the fashion show and showroom and the same thing we used to do together, right? I said, okay, I will. So I did, and in one of those showrooms, I was actually offered a job. They asked me how many languages do you speak, and I told them 5. They said, "Oh, actually, let's speak. Would you like
I
to
thought
join us
it's
every season?"
I thought it'll be English and Spanish, and it's 5. It's impressive, you see.
A few more, yeah.
Can you just name them out of curiosity?
Well, English, Spanish, German, Portuguese, and then Catalan. If you can, I consider it a language because they say it's a dialect, but it's very different to every other language.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
No, it's really
those.
cool and well done. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I met her there. They offered me the job, and I said, okay, it's time to move back. Maybe focus on this, reset, and after a while, plan it back. I started helping my parents in their boutique. They needed some help, refreshment, young blood. And I was working for one of the brands that they used to carry at the store. So one of the vendors. It's a fashion designer. And it was basically every fashion week, I would have to go and be there for 1 to 2 weeks and help out with selling out the collections to all the buyers. That gave me what I want to say a very solid base that I still use today. I was always being briefed on the collection. So I was briefed on colors, inspiration behind design, inspiration behind textures. So much of that I found so interesting. And that would have to be basically my own library where I would explain the customers after that during the entire week, right? So with that, whenever I wasn't in Paris working for Fashion Week, I was helping out at the store with the same brands again. So I got really involved with fashion, even though I swore not to when I was a little girl. And with that, I think a different side of creation kind of opened up in my mind. But at the same time, it was much more serious. I was in charge of certain things and, responsibilities and everything. So with some time, then I was offered to go to the US and open a flagship store for that same brand designer. So having been involved in fashion for a really long time has always inspired me in cuts and shapes and textures, especially, which a lot of people kind of point out when they see my design. Like I always see, like because I know it's yours because of the textures. So maybe
Mhm.
this is where it's coming from. And the reason why I now am working with websites and content creation and everything is also because COVID hit.
Mhm.
And when COVID hit, a lot of people's lives absolutely changed.
Yeah.
So I was always doing small creations and I was just curious about how to create online spaces. And I was just doing it on my time off. So I just got a little bit more serious about it and just dedicated my full COVID time to get well educated and started doing creations for friends and family and slowly got a referral and started developing and decided to create La Isla Design. So here I am.
I like it's interesting story. We discovered fashion as another kind of
Hmm.
industry or area, so it's literally multi-creative person.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was about to ask you as one of next question, like any kind of advice or tips, for example, how to find your first clients, because let's be honest, that's something that many people struggle with, especially if you're starting out and you don't have
Yeah.
any portfolio or work before. But I think you partially answered it, such as working with friends or family and then referrals.
Yeah.
But maybe besides that, is there anything else that you would add as advice for people who are starting out?
So obviously in my industry right now, yes, there's lots of platforms like Fiverr. There is, I mean, Behance, you
Upwork.
name it. Upwork. There's so many. However, the competition is extreme.
Mm.
And right now, you're being rewarded by previous work, right? You will get the exposure if you have done the work before. So it's very tricky. So I found myself a year ago now on LinkedIn trying to conquer the platform and trying to figure out how it worked. My first client was actually through comments.
Now people should listen carefully because commenting is something I feel like still underappreciated, because I'm sure
Exactly.
that you can experience by yourself when you read the comments and people are quite lazy. So just want to emphasize that people should listen now.
So that's what I'm saying. When people actually talk about comments, I don't think they realize that it's a weapon. You can reach to anyone through a comment. You cannot reach to anyone through your DM because maybe you're not connected. But you can possibly interact in a comment or, in somebody else's post, somebody else's feed. Comments are open and available to everyone. So you do have every single LinkedIn user out available for you to reach out. I was actually by accident landing on fashion posts and appreciating them and having open conversations with people. So whenever that happened, I found myself having really interesting conversations with others where it
Mhm.
led accidentally to what I do without me trying to promote my services. If people ask me, hey, but I don't have too much to show on LinkedIn, maybe I do have a portfolio I can share, or maybe I created 3 projects, then you have it. If you are able to actually have conversations with others in the field that maybe you're looking for, the conversation might lead you to share, hey, let's talk privately. Here, this is what I do. This is what I can offer. I see you have an issue. Let me help you. Comments are one of those secret weapons of LinkedIn that not everyone is using correctly.
I think so
So,
too. I think it's a great advice and I agree. I feel like, I don't know if it's people not knowing how to do it or trying to speed up the process, but especially now, and I'm afraid it's not going to improve, if we are honest, with AI commenting. And
yeah.
just don't do those soulless artificial comments that don't say anything. Honestly, I don't know why people still do it, but it just doesn't really help, in my opinion.
No. And okay, so the issue that I come across when I talk to current clients, right? And they tell me, yes, but I don't have time.
Mm.
100% agree. Yes. The reason why it worked for me at the time is because I did have the time and I didn't mind investing that time just appreciating other people's work. And somehow I landed in the right feed. But it wasn't a casualty. I was intentionally having conversations with others. So if you find yourself with some downtime, maybe don't go to the usual posts that you usually go and interact, or usual people that you usually interact. That's your community, that's your network. Maybe find some time to start typing on the search bar what it is or who it is that you would like to come across. Type the field, type the type of job that that person would be working in, and just start looking at very like far away connections, like third level connections, and look at their posts. Are they posting something interesting? Did it catch your eye? Keep going. Maybe someone posted something, or maybe someone commented something interesting. go from there, go to their profile and just do some investigator work.
I agree. Just be creative and try.
Yeah.
And you don't really have to, for example, comment, I don't know, 100 comments or even more per day.
No.
I'm sure you can too, but I can see it myself when someone comments under my content. And if it's one genuine comment that adds something, or maybe has person is having fun with you or something that stands out, you remember
Yeah.
that. And it really stands out from those 10 AI comments around it. So
Yeah.
even like, I don't know, 5 to 10 each day, I'm sure that everyone has a few minutes to comment like this. Don't overthink it. And remember, quality over quantity.
Yes. I hope that comes back in 2026.
I hope to. We will revisit in the future if our prediction was correct or not. There's a lot I don't share on the podcast. The messy bits, the real life behind the mic. That's what the vlog is for. It's called Behind the Produced By, and it lives on the same YouTube channel as this podcast. If you like seeing how creators usually build things, you might enjoy it. And the great point that you said before, Nadia, is with your content that is kind of recognizable or stands out thanks to your textures. And I think also before we discussed competition, and I can see it myself, like on LinkedIn, that you've got new creators, designers, and all kinds of people emerging, often like super talented and everything. So I think sometimes people overthink it, how to stand out and, I don't know, catch attention, and I don't know what else. But what you said, that you've got like something that is unique to you, which is, for example, those textures, specific design. I think that's a great lesson for the people. But if there's like someone still struggling, still trying to find a way how to stand out, how to be different, have you got like any advice on maybe how to approach it or how to find, competitive advantage?
Yes, I think it's great to look for inspiration in others, but I also think in it today it can be tricky because let's be honest, everything has been invented. And as of right now, what I would say is if you don't have an inspiration in your head, don't look for a trend because if there's a trend, there's already people at the very top using the trend in their favor. So, what can you maybe create that's, I don't want to say the opposite, but that differs from that? So, when I started posting, the funny thing is that I felt like, okay, I'm going to look what everyone's posting about and how they're formatting it. And I guess because it's working, I'll do it too.
Hmm?
Nothing. Like it's, the first day you're like, oh, what is people going to think of me? Well, people are not going to see it. People are not going to find you. So you're okay.
Mhm.
So it was one day that I said, you know what? I use this all the time in Canva all the time. So I'm just going to post about it. And I did. And it was the first day that I was like, oh, I'm tired of looking at what people post and whatever. I'm just going to post this. Let's see what happens. The fourth time of me doing that, that post actually got very high engagement. And that told me something. It said, okay, maybe I should post about what I think it's helpful, what I think it's useful on my everyday. It could be an educational post. It could be just a critique post about something, but you definitely have why you're doing it. Like, are you using a tool that you think it's outdated? Are you using a tool that you think is not giving you enough, but maybe there's a competition that is? Talk about it.
Mhm.
Do something that you feel you mastered, you have a point, and share it. It's I wouldn't be looking for trends. I wouldn't be looking for really inspirations, but I would be looking at, okay, pause, look at yourself in the mirror and what do you do every day? What tools do you use every day that someone might not know about? Maybe they know about the tools, but maybe you use it in a certain way that can be helpful for others. Start by talking about that. And one idea usually leads to another. So don't get ahead of your game. Go one
Hmm.
post at a time and study them too.
I think really well explained, and I agree. The best way how to find out is after to try, see if it works. If it doesn't work, just try something else. And as you really well said, if you post about something that you, for example, use every day or regularly, I think it's also just much easier to put it out there because you got some kind of expertise, some experience, and maybe you don't have to struggle with, some imposter syndrome or judging yourself what people are going to think.
Yeah. And you're going to post a lot more confidently.
Hmm. And a great example, as you mentioned, Canva. I use it too. I like it as well. And I'm not a professional designer, but because I use it frequently, sometimes I feel like that I know it quite well, but then I see posts from people who share like a tips or maybe some ways in which people might not be using Canva in, whether it's from you or someone else. And then I'm like, oh, wow, actually, I didn't know this. It's pretty cool. It's very helpful.
Yeah. One tool is crazy how, you see an apple and it has 360-degree skin around it, but maybe the angle that you're looking at the apple, it has a little brown dot, but from my side, it's all
Yes.
yellow. So everyone's going to look at or use the same tool differently. So I
Hmm.
think there's always something to learn from everyone, even if it's, hey, you know what? We actually built the same thing. And I actually did a long time ago when Adam was posting consistently. He's back though. I'm happy about
I
that.
noticed. Yes, yes.
I'm going to shout out him. Please. He's great.
I like him too. I mean,
We both posted about the same final result. And it was funny because I posted on how to achieve that result in one way, and he did in a very different way. So I was mind blown by his, and he was mind blown by mine. I was like, but we did the same thing with the same app in a very different way.
yeah.
So I think everyone has a good, if they can, if they've been using it and it works for them, everyone has a new angle on something, which is
Yes,
great.
I agree. And actually, speaking of Canva, especially curious from you as a pro designer, you've got like two fields, Canva versus Figma. So have you
Mhm.
tried Figma as well? And maybe why did you stick with Canva, or what's your opinion on these two?
Yes, I've tried Figma and I've also used Adobe. But at this time, obviously, building websites, Figma does come in handy, right? But for content creation, I found Canva will get you to the same result in a much faster way. And this has nothing to do with using templates, or it's just Canva has such a easy way of applying tools. It's an easier way to achieve a final result for content creation than it is using a much more complex platform such as Adobe or Figma. If we're talking about high quality, high pixel, like resolution final result, then we might have a different discussion. However, today with Affinity joining Canva, it can still be achieved without leaving Canva, which now it gives me no reason to open other apps, to be honest.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm kind of a person too. I never really tried properly Figma or something. Maybe I was lazy to learn it or I found it too complicated. But what you said, it makes sense to me, and I can see myself how Canva is improving as well. For example, if I remember like using it years ago, and now of course you've got like everything improved with AI and all kinds of stuff like that. Are such a big improvement since then. It's crazy how they are innovating and improving.
Yeah, it's also a much easier interface for much friendlier interface for maybe non-tech people. And the fact that there's a lot of drag and drop and a lot of elements that you can already use that are created and you don't have to go ahead and create it or download it from the internet, upload it. There is a lot for you, like a big library for you to use, then I think that makes it even friendlier and less scary for people to try it out.
I think so too. And have you got a favorite feature in Canva?
Okay, I mean, what I
Too many
use the
to choose.
most, and I think Canva sent me that in the year review, is the
Oh
background
yes, that is a
remover.
good point. I saw it recently as well. I didn't know that they do it as well.
Yeah, I think I use the background remover over 15,000 times. So we have a winner. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of tools, except Canva, are there any, I assume that you probably have favorite one or one go-to for websites. So which one would that be? And maybe some other tools that you use for content creation?
For content creation. So I if we're not talking about myself and my own content, and maybe I'm creating content for a client, I don't always use Canva. It will depend on what type of content I'm creating for that specific client. But one, I am a heavy user of Venngage. So
I'm not going to lie, I probably don't know that.
I've been posting a lot of educational posts also for people to learn how to use it and everything. Venngage to me is if you have a small business or a medium-sized business and you have a team that you're working with, maybe you have even HR in your team, you need to do presentations, you need to fill out legal forms, you need to put together maybe a quick invitation for something. That is what Venngage comes into the game for me. I recommend it for them as a team, and I use it myself to just build a professional looking work document. It has also endless templates for that. You need to create a CV. They do have a very professional template. You need to create a contract to send over to a client real quick. They have very professional templates. Not only that, but their AI interface is very well done, very well achieved. So the difference, and some people ask me, okay, have you tried Canva AI? I am loving Canva AI for image generation. I think they did an outstanding improvement. Venngage, though, has a great AI interface to create templates for what you need. You type in your content, it will fill out the document for you with very well written content. It will translate it automatically to a whole new language. So I use that a lot I have construction companies that I work with. I use Venngage for their content. And not only that, but if they have a request and they say, Nadia, I have a presentation for this new project. Here are the information and the images. Please give me something to present. I'll use Venngage because it will be done in a snap.
Mm.
So Venngage is if it's not for creativity and it's more for a professional look, then Venngage to me is gold. For website design, I mostly code my websites. So I do the work prior to using any CMS, but I love WordPress, obviously, because of the freedom that you get. And lately, I was kind of, you can say by force, had to use Squarespace for a client. They wanted to stay in Squarespace because it's a very user-friendly platform to maintain a website and carefree. You don't have to update all your plugins. You don't have to make sure everything is up and running. Squarespace does everything for you. So I currently actually applied heavy code to Squarespace, and I was mind blown on how well it took it. So that was a first. Yeah. So I was never Squarespace lover, but I have to say after that, it has my respects.
Mhm. I feel like I can see Squarespace, maybe not that much now, but before it was every second YouTube video had ad to try Squarespace. Was
Sponsored by
every
Squarespace.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. They were the very
Mm,
first, I think, YouTube sponsors or something.
I guess so. Yeah, before all others started doing it, but it was there yet. And Nadia, we discussed, of course, LinkedIn, but are you on other platforms as well, or is LinkedIn your primary?
LinkedIn is my primary, and I made it a goal of mine for this year to possibly join YouTube.
Oh, wow.
um, yeah, I do want to start creating a bit more video educational content. So that's 2026 goals.
You've got still a lot of time for that, so let's see.
Yeah, we'll
And
see.
I think
Yeah.
and I think it's also smart because if you create like a video content for YouTube, it's quite easy to repurpose, whether it's for shorts on YouTube or even I don't know in the future. Maybe 27 when you decide for other platform, you've got like the reels and other content to share there too.
Yes. In 2025 I tried mirroring with Instagram, repurposing all my content from LinkedIn to Instagram, but it's too much work. Because
Yeah,
it's not
not
just
going
mine, you have
so.
clients. It's too
Mhm.
much.
You need to show up, you need to engage. Basically similar as with LinkedIn.
Exactly. And I felt like all in to one platform would get the best of me. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
And you said now what's like a goal for 2026, but also as we are recording at the start of this year, are there any New Year resolutions or any plans that you haven't mentioned for this year?
No, so last year when I joined LinkedIn, I did it, I think, on January 1st. And that was
What a
my
timing!
year
Yeah.
resolution. Yes, I mean, I was one of those, right? Okay, this year, come on, let's go, let's do it. And this year, I have a different mentality, and I finished last year strong, and I just want to start the new year on that same strength and just keep pushing. At the end of the day, it's a continuation of your work. You might be able to look back and say, wow, what a year 2025 has been. Like, look at the projects I worked on, and that was magnificent. It was a great time, met great people. That's another thing about LinkedIn. So this year, I just want to keep doing more of that and nonstop. My basically my resolution would be just keep going. Don't stop. Look back as much as you want to look back, but just don't stop doing it.
I
Unfortunately, it is the 8th, and I've been sick for 5 days, but I'm back.
No,
I'm
but
back.
it sounds good and I like it because after all, it might sound cliche, but it's like about playing the long game, isn't it? Because it's not that you
Exactly.
show up, show up, try it for one or few months and expect some amazing results or whatever. But it's about showing up consistently and over time.
Exactly. And basically, my people asking me lately, I don't think finding a New Year's resolution or like, okay, you might have goals, like I have my goals to do this year, but if you want to succeed and if you want to find a sustainable way of being consistent, you need to work on your habits. It's a very big difference to force yourself to do something over and over and over again. You might only last so long, but if you work on a habit that becomes your routine, that's when you win because you're going to
Exactly.
show up no matter what.
It's like it becomes part of your process or routine, and you don't even need to think about it or like push yourself. I have to post, but it's like part of it. You do it, and you just don't think about it because it's kind of automatic.
Exactly. And it's how it should be. It should be part of your day.
Hmm.
It should be part of like your maybe making coffee in the morning, then you sit down and reply to comments, and
Hmm.
then maybe you need some time to polish the post if you want, and go ahead and post and keep
Yeah,
on moving on with your day. So find a habit, find a routine that you can stick to, and then it'll slowly come in place. Some people take longer, some people take less time to achieve that. But it's the same as working out, right? You want to lose weight, you
That is true.
okay, show up at the gym 1 week. Nothing's gonna happen, but maybe go twice a week and go for the whole year, and something you will see something different.
I
Yeah,
agree, and do not compare yourself to others, which is very important. And Nadia,
that's key.
just as we will be approaching the end, I like to ask kind of lighter questions. So, what is it that you like to do in your free time, or what are some of your hobbies?
So funny you ask. My husband and I met dancing. We were both part of Brazilian Zouk community. It's a partner dance. And there is social gatherings and social dancing, right? So we were in the same community for over a year, and I think we were the only two people that never danced with each other in the entire year out of the whole community. So we still do that. We have a 4-year-old, and whenever we have the chance, then we do still go out and dance.
Is 4-year-old going to be dancer as well?
I don't know. He says he gets embarrassed when he sees us dancing, so I don't know.
He would have
I don't
the
know.
best teachers, so it should
I
be kind of
know.
easier.
But I get it. My parents were in fashion, and I swore I would not get into
Yeah,
fashion, so I get it.
that's a good point. And then, Nadia, do you read books? And if so, have you got any recommendations?
So it's been a minute, and I wanted to this year sit down and start finding some more time, but no, I haven't in a while. And
Mhm.
it's something I do want to intentionally make more time for. My husband actually has better dedication than me, and he finds some time right before he goes to sleep. He downloads the books, but I'm too tired then. So I need to find a different time of the day.
Oh,
But
and
I do want to get into it again.
mhm.
Yes.
I hope you do. I haven't been reading last year as much, so I had a kind of goal to get back into it more. So I'm joining you on this mission to start reading more and try to get into it. But
And what is basically your favorite thing to read?
I like non-fiction books, so like
Okay.
some self-improvement ones, and also I like biographies. Like if it's a biography of someone who is interesting to me or someone that for some reason I admire or I want to know more about, I think those are really interesting as well.
I agree. Yeah, I love that too.
So, Nadia, then we discussed it, but can you please summarize where people can find you, follow you, and promote any of your services?
Yes. So Nadia Fernandez on LinkedIn. I do have a Substack, maybe 2026 goal. We'll keep it up. And then in 3ws.laisla.designs.com. That's my website. I do have my services, some media kits. I do have also a secret vault
Mhm.
where people can access all of my carousels and my free educational posts for free. So, yeah, go ahead and do that because there is the whole all 2025 post library in there available for people to use. And there's a lot of Canva and Venngage educational posts there.
Do it before it's behind the paywall, but then it will be too late.
I know. Right now I'm only asking for your email, but maybe
I
I'll ask for
will.
something else soon.
I will, as usual, add any links to the show notes. And just as you mentioned it, is La Isla Designs the name of the company because Mallorca is island, or what's the reason behind it?
You're the first person who put that together.
Oh, wow.
The first
But
person.
before I was wondering, but then when you said that you're actually from Mallorca, I thought, oh, it actually makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love
Nice,
it.
good.
I'm going to
And
remember this.
so, Nadia, very last question. Is there anything I should have asked you and did not? Any final piece, I don't know, advice, message, or anything you would like to leave the audience with?
Post this year, please. I want to see what you want to talk about. And please send me a request. I am an open book. If you ever have a lot of people reach out with questions about Notion, I'm a heavy Notion user. I can answer questions I did in the past. I can share projects if you want to share something with me. I'm an open book. So please reach out. I'm not scary. I don't bite. Send me a connection request or send me a DM. I'll be happy to connect this year.
See, that is actually something that I wish I knew earlier, because before I knew Notion, I heard many people talking like positive about it, but I've never really been into it. But then I started, and sometimes or frequently there was something that I couldn't figure out or I didn't know how to do. So I had to do it the hard way to somehow figure it out. So if I knew it, I would reach out to as well before. So I might in the
Please do.
future.
Please do. Also, I do want to I remember last year is a full circle. I have to say I'm very happy you reached out and it actually made a great start of the year because I'm sure you saw it in our conversation. Last year I reached out. I really wanted to find a way to collab with you. So the moment you reached out this year, it really felt like a full circle and it made me so happy
Oh,
to actually get to interact with you and be part of this. So I wanted to say thank you.
oh, it's
Um,
very kind of you, and thank you too. I appreciate it, and it's because I've been following you. I like your content. I like the way you
thank
show
you.
up, and we also did a collaboration together, and you just been nice and very friendly. And I feel like if it's someone that I feel like there's like a good vibes and just although of course we've never met, but it feels like that it can be a nice chat. I always enjoy it, and I think it's very nice. So I thank you too for your time, and I appreciate your kind words.
Thank you. And you made me start the year with a really good feeling.
Thank you. I'm glad it at least improved the mood despite the flu or your sickness for a few
I
days.
know. I was trying to hide it. I was like, I'm so happy to do this, but I'm coughing all over the place. Yeah.
No, Nadia, just to finish it up, I want to say once again, huge thank you. I really enjoyed it. I encourage people to reach out, follow, and just, get in touch with you because I think you deserve it and quality work. So thank you once again. And I'll be excited to see when you announce your YouTube channel. So all the
Will
best
do.
and thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Produced by with Tomen. Check the show notes for all the links, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your feedback. Speak soon.